That's 100% success rate in my opinion. Oh my, what? What? Wait, no, just kidding. No, I didn't. Am I right or am I right? Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just processing. Hello and welcome back to the chaos that is Shani and books. If you even remember me. I'm not going to get too into it in this video because I want to get into the excitement, but needed a little bit of a mental health break. I had filmed some videos. I ended up deleting them. I'll have to refilm them. This was not my intended first video back, but this is going to be my prediction and reaction to the 2024 Goodreads Choice Awards. So we won't care about my absence at the moment. Today I am once again coming to you with a presentation of my predictions of the Goodreads Choice Awards 2024, as well as cutting in with my reactions once they are announced to see how correct or incorrect I am. Just now, I was actually out at my mum's house. I dropped my son there so I could go to the doctor's, and I was expecting them to come out soon-ish, and I looked and I could see them on the Goodreads and I didn't want to look at any of them. I haven't looked at any of them yet. I've set up my computer, whipped out the camera, dusted the dust off, and let's react to what the actual nominees are. Goodreads is not my favorite in the world, and also I am losing faith with the Goodreads Choice Awards as the years go on. I'm always disappointed by certain things. I'm disappointed by Goodreads as a whole. They never want to improve anything. They're also owned by Amazon. I've been really loving Storygraph, but regardless of all those things, I still wanted to do this because I did this last year and I had a lot of fun doing the predictions and then doing my reactions. So I wanted to do it again this year. Plus, I know a lot of people like to keep up with the Goodreads Choice Awards. I do think, despite all of the problems, there are good things. There are a lot of people who also do this type of video. I know that Meg from Meg with Books usually does a prediction video. Some people do predictions that are a lot more detailed and thought out. I am just going with what I've seen people posting about. With a lot of these, some of my friends and people I follow's book clubs are what I have based some of the categories off that I don't read as much. But beside me, as you can see, I have my presentation once again. I beautifully photoshopped onto last year's little Goodreads logo because there's not one out for this year yet. But let's get into the predictions. It is also today. We're in October. Can you see that? Despite my Christmas background. We are in October. Whoa, what the? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we're quite a ways away from when they're being announced. Usually they're announced mid-November, but I'm filming this now just on the off chance that they do it early. And I don't want to miss out on having my predictions out there so I can do my reactions. So let us get into it. So the first category. Oh, also, predicting the categories is going to be hard as well because last year they knocked out a bunch and added Romantasy. Best case scenario is they put back at least like the middle grade one because I kind of wish that was still in there, but yeah, who knows? They could knock out some more categories, they could add some more, they could bring some of the old ones back. We just don't know. So I'm just going off what they had in last year's awards. So, all right, first one, I don't see a version of this where they won't have just a general fiction section. Also, I've not done 20 predictions for all of these because some of them I couldn't think of 20. I think this is what, 19. The top row I'm thinking is like my most confident. That Coco Mallore's book, Blue Sisters, I feel like I've seen that everywhere, as well as The Wedding People. Also, I have used like the celebrity book clubs as like a helper to tell me if books are going to make it. Usually so my thought process was things I've seen my friends post about, which is obviously skewed because who you follow like doesn't indicate the popularity. Also, I do know that Goodreads Choice Awards is totally a popularity contest. We can understand it. It's not the most credible literary award to be following, but regardless, yeah, people who I have followed, as well as Book of the Month, because those books tend to always get picked, as well as celebrity book clubs like the Reese Book Club, Oprah's one, stuff like that, and if authors have had books on the list previously. I also forgot to check to make sure all of the books are eligible. From what I understand, it has to be published in the US in 2024. So this first book up here, Butter, is translated, but I believe it was published in the US this year, but it was published previously else. Look, if any of these books are ineligible, look, I'm not the most creditable person to be going to for these sort of things. But anyway, yeah, the first row is the one I'm like the most confident about. I don't know, I'm not sure. This is just a bunch of books that I have seen that were coming out this year, books that I had on my anticipated releases list. So I know they kind of came out this year, or that I've seen people posting about them. Who knows? I actually have not read any of them, have I? No. The Sally Rooney one literally only just came out, but I'm assuming since her book. I know Normal People almost won it that year, so I'm assuming even though it's only just came out, it's going to get put on there. People will probably vote for it based on the author's name, even if they haven't read it. So I don't know. I looked at the Goodreads page for some of these books and some of them probably don't have enough readers, but I don't know. Sometimes Goodreads does weird things and they just throw books in there that you never think. So there's my fiction prediction. All right, here we go. Okay, so Dolly Alderton, I think I had that in my prediction. Should I pull up my prediction so I actually know what the hell I had? You know, it would be probably wise, Shani. All right, so in the first row, I definitely had the Dolly Alderton book, I'm sure in my prediction, as well as the Tommy Orange book. I think I had Colour Television. This Sandwich book, I don't think I had, and I have never heard of that before. Second row, oh my God, I cannot believe I didn't have this book. I own this book. I forgot that came out this year. What else? Okay, I had this one. Oh my God, Greta and Veldon. I read this book. I got an arc of that and I didn't even put it in my predictions. I definitely put this one. What else? Leanne Moriarty is in the fiction section. Is that not a mystery? Does she not write mysteries? I thought she wrote mysteries. This one I've seen everywhere. I knew this was going to be in here. Sally Rooney, I also predicted. All right, I did not do good. I did not do good. I put this one. So I have 1, 2, I think I have 7 from this round. Okay, not the greatest odds. Let's move on to historical fiction. Historical fiction is a sad little page because I don't follow historical fiction releases, but I know that Kristen Hanna came out with a book and I think it's historical fiction, so that's my one prediction. And if it's not on the list, then I don't know. But if it is, then I'm 100% correct in this one. It's likely that I've never heard of this. Oh, I have heard of this one. Oh, and I've heard of this one. Did I put those in my fiction prediction? I did. I put both of them in fiction and they're both historical. Rookie error. Yeah, but the one book that I did predict is on here. So I predicted one and it was on here. So that's 100% success rate in my opinion. All right, mystery thriller. Next up in the mystery thriller category, which I am not the most knowledgeable on. This one I kind of went off some of the book clubs that I follow. I'm definitely, again, I'm more confident about the first row and then I get less confident as it goes down. Frida McFadden did have 2 books in the list last year, and that you can do. You can have 2 books make each category as long as they're not from the same series, which Frida McFadden has 2. Those ones are 2 separate ones, and I think they both came out this year, so I'm assuming she's going to have 2 again. Riley Sager is always there, whether it's in the horror or the mystery, whichever it fits into. I feel like Rachel Hawkins does as well. First Lie Wins, I feel like that has a lot of readers. I think that was a Reese Book Club one, if I'm looking at the little tag correctly. Sally Hepworth, I don't know. I feel like she's been on the list before, but I just threw it on there because she's Australian and I want to add an Australian person to the list. And then moving down, I don't really know. I've just seen the covers around. I feel like they must be popular. Some of them were published in the UK last year, but I think they're eligible because they were published in the US this year. So that Mysterious Case of the Alberton Angels, I think. And then that very last book, You Know What You Did, I'm not as confident about because it doesn't have that many readers, but Kayla picked it for her book club, which is where I've seen it. Mystery thriller tends to be a very white list, so I put that on there because an Asian author. So I don't know. We'll see how many of these are correct. Frida McFadden, I don't know if this is the one I said was going to be on here, but I knew she was going to have at least 2 on here, so I'm going to see if that's correct. How to Solve Your Own Murder. Okay, I think I said that one. That's a cozy mystery. The Heiress. Did I have that one? Yes, I did. Okay. The Last One at the Wedding. I don't think I had that. No. All right. I haven't heard of this one. Not What She Seems. I don't think I've seen that. I don't really keep up with the mystery thrillers. I was just going by what other people were reading. Home is Where the Bodies Are. Did I not have that one? Did I think that was a horror? Oh my gosh. I totally forgot. Nita Prose, the first book in this series, won the whole thing the year it was in here. Why didn't I put that? Listen for the Lie. I'm sure I put that, didn't I? Yes. House of Glass, had that one. Darling Girls, Sally Hepworth. I did say that. I didn't put this one. That doesn't look familiar to me. Richard Osman. Oh no. Okay, The God of Woods. I had that one. The Return of Ellie Black by Emiko Jean. Oh, I love this author. I've read other books by this author, but I haven't read this. I didn't put that on there. Middle of the Night, Riley Sager. I had that. Oh, The Laura Dave. I don't think I put that on my prediction, but the previous book by this author was really, really popular, so I should have known. The Teacher, Frida McFadden. Okay, I knew she would have 2 on here, but I don't think it was the 2 I said. All the Colors of the Dark. I did not say. First Lie Wins, I did, and The Midnight Feast, Lucy Foley. Oh, I did terrible in this section. Okay, let's count up how many I got. So 1, 2. Okay, I think I have 9. 9 out of, I think I guessed, did I guess 20? I don't know. I guess 19. 9 out of 19. I mean, it's not great. All right, romance. This is the one that I feel like I hopefully have this. Okay, romance. Next up, we have romance, which I last year was, of course, disappointed because we had almost no authors of color and all of the romances were a male-female romance. So I am honestly not going to be shocked if the same happens this year. I actually went back and looked at previous Goodreads lists, and like 2019 and 2020 even, they were quite diverse. There were sapphic books making the list. When Red, White and Royal Blue came out, that won the whole thing, and that's a male-male romance. I didn't put Casey McQuiston's, they did release a book this year, and I didn't put it on the list simply because I haven't seen the best reviews for it and it hasn't gotten that many. So even though they have a book that's previously won the whole thing, I don't know that it will. So I do think this whole list is all straight books that I have come up with, but I do think that's probably what's going to happen. I think as the years have gone on, the romance category has gotten less and less diverse, which I do think, I mean, I'm not going to get into it, but I do think TikTok has something to do with that, because the books that get mostly promoted on that platform do tend to be the straight white ones. But tangent aside, this is what I think will likely happen. Obviously, Emily Henry is going to be on there. She won last year, I believe. I don't know about the year before, but she's coming out with a book every single year, and I don't see a year where it's not going to make the list. So the top row, again, I'm the most confident about. Ali Hazelwood usually makes the list. She did have 2 books come out this year, but one I'm hoping is going to make it into a different category so that, you know, she doesn't have 2 in this one, you know. Abby Jimenez, I think, will be on there. Again, yeah, that whole top, pretty much all of these books that I've chosen, almost the top ones at least, the authors were listed previously. The bottom row is the only one that I am unsure of. I put Leather and Lark on there because I did think that maybe they would put something on there that was a little different, because that one I think is like a darker romance. But I think it's still a romance book. I don't know. It's also a sequel, so maybe it won't go on there. And then the last 3 is my little hope that some BIPOC authors are going to make it this year. I know Anna Huang has been making the list. She was on it last year. I don't know about previous years. I forgot to check. So I'm assuming that her release this year will make the list, but I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen with romance. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't put any like LGBT books on my personal prediction, just not because I don't want them to be on there. I want them to be on there, but I just don't think they will make it. But Goodreads may surprise me. Goodreads may surprise me. Oh my god, I just said I think I've got this, and this first book I've never even heard of. It's got like a sticker on it. Like, is that Good Morning America? Oh my god, oh my god. Anyway, okay. Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer. I have read that and I loved that. Catherine Center, I definitely said that. I predicted that one. Leather and Lark, I did predict that. The Liz Tomford, predicted that was going to happen. Bride, I was hoping would be in Romantasy so that it would free up one position in the romance section. But How to End a Love Story, I did say that one. Okay, Christina Lauren, The Paradise Problem, knew that was going to happen. Oh, I didn't put this on here, but I have seen a lot of people talking about this series, this like cozy autumnal type of series. Like, it's been compared to Gilmore Girls. I have seen a lot of people talk about that. Okay, I should have known. Kennedy Ryan, I'm glad is on here. Okay, that's great, because last year we were not doing well for the BIPOC authors in the romance category, so this is much better. Swift and Saddled, I also said that. Wild Love, I also said that. Carly Fortune has a new book. It's pretty much all the same authors as last year, just like their most recent book. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that Tia Williams is on here. I did predict that too. I haven't read this one. I've read the previous book by this author and I loved it. It's one of my all-time favorite romances. So that's great. Oh, Lies and Weddings, Kevin Kwan. I didn't have that on my, that's the author of Crazy Rich Asians, but this is so much more culturally diverse than last year. We don't just have white authors. Wow. Okay, Casey McQuiston. I'm kicking myself. I had this on my prediction, but it has barely been talked about, but I should have known because Casey McQuiston's book a couple of years ago, 2019 maybe, it won the whole thing. So I guess this is about as queer as it gets on the list. I don't know what exactly the representation is for that particular book, because I know their first book, Red, White and Royal Blue, was a male-male romance, and then One Last Stop was a female-female romance. And then they wrote a young adult book. So I don't know much about this because it hasn't been getting the best rating. So I haven't read it yet. But all right, funny story. I knew that was going to be on here, and that's going to be my prediction to win the whole thing. I would be surprised if something else happens, but you never know. Daydream, I also said that. I said this Ali Hazelwood, and I did say King of Sloth as well. Okay, I got a lot. I got a couple wrong. So how many did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, I got 15 out of 20 right. That's pretty good in the prediction department. If I was going to vote right this second, I would vote for probably this Abby Jimenez book, I believe, is my probably highest yeah, I haven't read that many. I'm just so glad there's more BIPOC authors than last year, because last year there was more BIPOC characters in this category than there were BIPOC authors, because I believe, I could be wrong, but I think this Liz Tomford book, this series, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I thought this series was following black characters or has a somewhere in it black character, but the author is not black. So last year there was more characters that were BIPOC than there were authors. Anyway, Romantasy, I'm going to have recognized 0 books, I'm sure. Right, next up we have the Romantasy category, which I have even less idea about. This is where I put Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I don't know if it would count as Romantasy because it's more a paranormal romance, which I feel like would just go into the romance category if it's a paranormal romance, but I'm not sure. I'm hoping it goes into this one, so I'll have something to vote for, because I don't read Romantasy, nor do I have any interest in doing so I'm not going to have read any of the nominees. But I am assuming Sarah J Maas will be on here. When the Moon Hatched, I feel like I've seen everywhere. I think that author's Australian too, so that's fun. Reckless, I think, is Romantasy and not fantasy. I don't, to be honest, I don't even know the difference. So these are the only books that I could think of. I do know that Iron Flame, I think, just misses the cutoff. I think it came out in October last year, and I think the cutoff for books to be nominated is November of 2023. So I don't think it makes it, which is good, because obviously it took it out last year, so it would be nice for someone else to have a chance. So I don't know. There's my Romantasy. Oh, I do recognize some. The Spell Shop. I was interested in this. I don't know if I should read it. Let me know if you think it's too out of my realm of comfort, like if it's too much fantasy, Romantasy. And oh, this one, I had that. Oh, and this one. Okay, I had things in all the wrong sections. But I did say Sarah J Maas, and I think that's the only one that's on here that I actually said. So let's look at fantasy. Fantasy, again, some of these I feel like aren't in the right spot. So some of them might be young adults. Like Dragonfruit, I feel like might be young adult, but I'm not really sure. The TJ Klune, I don't know if that's fantasy or if it's sci-fi. I feel like last time that author had a book on the list, it was a sci-fi book, so I don't really know. But I don't know, these are books that I've seen people talking about. I haven't read them, so I don't know. But I know that Emily Wilde was on the list last year, so maybe the sequel will make it. Leigh Bardugo is a popular author. Again, this is, it's not well thought out predictions, but I am just going by just pure guesses. Basically, I opened up a presentation and just started throwing in books that I had seen. So okay, so some of the fantasy ones I said were in the previous section. I won't know these because I'm not that into fantasies. I did say The Familiar. I did say The Map of the Otherlands. I just bought this and I didn't even know it was fantasy. Did I say the TJ Klune? I did. Okay, so I've got 3 from here. All right, sci-fi. Sci-fi, I only have 2. Annibot, which I did have in my anticipated releases, but I haven't read it. But I know it's sci-fi. And The Ministry of Time, which I do own and I am planning to read. I probably have read it by the time this goes up. Those are the only 2 that I know of that I think are sci-fi, so that's all I've got for this one. Okay, I won't recognize any, but the 2 I said are on here. This one's here. This one's here. Go me. 2 for 2. So that is, again, a 100% success rate. All right, horror. Horror, again, I don't keep up with like new releases this quick, so I don't know. But again, I've used some book clubs that I follow. So mostly like Kayla, Books and Lala's book club and Gabby Reed's book club. Most of these were picked for one or the other. So that's where I kind of like got them from. Plus just like books that those reviewers read, because I don't read as much. Although I have read some horror this year. I don't know. Stephen King, I'm assuming, will be on here somewhere, whether he's fits into mystery thriller or horror. I believe this particular book is a horror book, but I could be wrong. And then yeah, I don't know. I kind of like just went with what I was sort of seeing people posting. I feel like Rachel Harrison has been on before. Stephen Graham Jones, I'm pretty sure has as well. Josh Malaman, I feel like has been on the list before. And Simone St. James has, but maybe for the thriller category. I feel like this one's horror though. I thought it was tagged as. I could be wrong. And I probably am. All right, let's see. The Rachel Harrison, I did predict. I've read one book by this author. I haven't seen as many people loving this particular book by them. Let me know if you've read this book and if you would recommend it. I didn't put this one, but I have seen, I think I saw Gabby posting that cover. Someone posted that cover. I just remember it because it's bright yellow. I didn't put this, but I have been seeing people reading it. And I didn't put this. Okay, not going good. This one I did put. I saw Gabby had this for her book club. The Josh Malaman I also had. Okay, this one I haven't seen before. It has a really bright cover. I feel like I would remember that. Bury Your Gaze. Okay, I said that. I said the Stephen King, obviously. I don't know this one. I didn't put this one either, did I? No. I haven't seen this cover, but I feel like I would remember it because that's a really, really cool cover. I did say The Eyes Are the Best Part, and I did say the Stephen Graham Jones, and I did say Murder Road, and I said What Feast as Night. Oh, and this one. Okay. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I have 9 and I only guessed 12 and I got 9 correct. So I only got a couple wrong. That's not bad for a genre that I don't keep up with and I don't really read that much. Debut, I didn't do a prediction for, but I'm really excited to see. Can't believe I didn't put this book. I know it's a translated one and I own it. It's sitting right there. And I was really excited about that book this year. The Ministry of Time I also have. I know it's sci-fi, but I do also have that one. Let me know if you think I should read that. This one, I did see this book. This one is a Native American author, and I did see some stuff about it being like a Native American romance, which I honestly don't see that many of. So I would be interested in picking this one up. I've seen so many people raving about this one. Greta and Valden, I can't believe I forgot that. I read that at the beginning of the year, maybe because I had a really early arc. I just forgot it came out this year. But I'm really excited about that one as well because that is a New Zealand author. She is a Maori author and the characters are also obviously Maori as well. So, oh my, what? What? I just went to click the next section. There's an audiobook award. Oh my God. That's new. Did they get rid of something else? What did they get rid of? There's an audiobook section. I did not see that until just now. Oh my God. So this is like the book as well as like, I guess how well produced the audiobook is. That's crazy. What did we add a category or did we delete one? I know last year we got rid of a few so that Romantasy could find a spot. That is so different. They've never had that before. My God. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just processing. There's like also no way for me to like predict what would have, like, it's just a mash of like every genre as well. Because it looks like, yep, there's memoirs, there's romances, horrors, mysteries. Oh my goodness. I mean, that's crazy though. It's good. Like, I guess the audiobook production is also getting recognized within the awards. Like, that's cool. That is so cool. I mean, there's also no, like, we know this awards is just a popularity contest. It's not, if you want to pick a book based on like literary merit, there are other awards that have like a panel that reads the books and that is how the awards are presented in one, whereas this is just a popularity contest of the general public. So people can vote for books if they've read the book, not necessarily reading the audiobook, but people vote in categories just for covers they like or books they've heard of once without even having read it. So it's cool that there's an audiobook category. So now things that are like really well produced can... That's so crazy. I did not expect that. I thought they might switch up some of the sections again this year because obviously they did a big like switch up last year. But if I was going to predict something, I would not have thought that audiobook would have been on it. That's crazy. Okay, let's just go to the next one. I need to move on. I don't even know. What have I read here? I've read Funny Story, which I did. Did I listen to the audiobook? I did. I think I did listen to the audiobook. Wait, no, just kidding. No, I didn't. Okay, that one. I definitely did listen to the audiobook for Just for the Summer. Okay, so that's the only one that I have read at all with audio, I think. I've read this one, but obviously not via audio. That's crazy. Sorry, I'm just literally sitting here processing that. All right, let's move on to young adult. That is actually crazy. Next up, young adult fantasy, even less of an idea. Like I said, some of the ones I put in the fantasy category might fall into here. I don't know, I'm assuming the Divine Rivals sequel will be here. Holly Black is a popular young adult author. I feel like I saw a lot of my friends reading A Tempest of Teen. I think it's young adult. I have really no idea, but here's my prediction. All right, young adult fantasy. I barely made any predictions because I don't know of any. I feel like the young adult is always so much more diverse culturally, because just looking, I mean, Brandon Sanderson's in there, which is a white man, but looking, I'm seeing already like more than I feel like is in the adult sections. I may have to, at some point, I really want to have a look at that and like tally it up. I want to see, but I feel like young adult is just always way more diverse. I did say Ruthless Vows. What else can I see? I said this one, but I think I put it in adult. I forgot it was young adult. You know me. I don't really pay that much attention. Oh, and this is young adult. I think I put that in the adult one. Okay, I said the Holly Black. Where's that one with the butterfly? Yep, there it is. Heartless Hunter. I feel like I've seen that get good reviews. Oh, that other book isn't on here. To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods or whatever. Is that adult or did I get it wrong? I don't know. But this one I said. So I only got 1, 2, 3, 4 right out of 6. And I obviously haven't read anything here. I would be interested in this one. This is an Australian author and I have read from them before. I think it was like a horror. Oh no, I've read Ruthless Vows. I just forgot that I never posted about it because that the publisher boycott was happening. I was going to read this one. I think Jan had that as a book club pick and I was going to get it from my library, but then I just decided I wasn't going to force myself to read a fantasy because I just didn't think I was going to like it. All right, let's have a look at the regular young adult fiction. Young adult fiction, again, no idea. Holly Jackson, I'm assuming, will be on there. I feel like she's pretty popular. That's pretty much all I've got for you. I'm excited to see how many I have right or wrong. Oh, I'm excited to see this here. This is like a BIPOC author, an Asian author, as well as being sapphic. That's amazing. Young adult fiction doing better than adult once again. I don't recognize... I recognize this author. I feel like she gets talked about a lot. Oh, Jenny Nelson. I forgot that author had a new book this year. Oh, I didn't even put Heartstopper on my predictions because I forgot that graphic novel got axed. And so obviously the young adult graphic novel got put in this one now. Okay. I'm going to predict that Heartstopper may win just because now it has the TV show. So the fan base is like even bigger. I feel like Heartstopper is probably going to win this one. What did I say on here? None of these. Did I say none? Oh no, this one. I did say this one. Did that Holly Jackson book not even make it? Oh no, it's right here. Okay, so I got 2. The other ones I got either didn't make it or were in the wrong section. This is really interesting. I don't really I recognize this author. I've read from them before. I didn't love it. Oh, Lynn Painter has 2 in here. That sucks. They need to make it so you can't have multiple books in each category. Am I right or am I right? I feel like they should just make it that you can just have one and that's it, because they've got the rule where you can have multiple books as long as they aren't in the same series. But now we've got like Frida McFadden has taken up 2 spots in the mystery one. Lynn Painter's got 2. Like they just need to make it you can only have one. Like what is the point of being able to have 2? It just doesn't make sense to me. But anyway. All right, non-fiction. I didn't predict anything, so we can just have fun and look. Would I have recognized anything? What is this one? The Untold Story of the Rise and Fall of Disney Channel's Tween Empire. Wow, the first unauthorized look at the inner workings and ultimate breakdown of Disney Channel machine for many kids growing up in the 2000s. That's interesting. It's interesting that there's so much coming out about like Nickelodeon and Disney and stuff at the moment, like child stars. Obviously there was that big documentary, I've forgotten the name, but with Drake Bell. Obviously there was a lot going on behind the scenes, and I am all for the protection of child stars as well as child influencers now, because they're coming under that sort of category. I think I recognize this one just because it's pink and I always look at things that are pink as well as this one. I don't remember what they're about. A podcaster. See, I wouldn't know. Pop culture nostalgia. Okay. I don't think I would read that. Again, I don't think I would read this one either. I think I recognize the covers because they're pink and I'm always drawn to pink things. If that's not obvious. Okay, again, haven't read anything, so I'm not able to vote at this point in time anyway. I don't think I'm going to vote straight away anyway. Reader's favorite memoir. Let's see. I feel like I've seen this cover. Okay, oh, Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, I still haven't finished reading it, but I did get an early copy of this that I haven't finished and reviewed yet. Perhaps I'll do that before the awards are over. All right, history and biography. I'm not gonna know anything here, and no, I don't, nor am I interested. Okay, did they get rid of anything? So that is the same amount of categories as last year. Is something gone? Let's just double check. All right, last year we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13, 14, 15. They did. They got rid of humor. There's no humor. So there's still 15, the same amount of different categories. There's just one different. So this time they got rid of humor and they've put in audiobooks, it looks like. That is absolutely insane. I was not expecting that to be the change. I don't think it's going to happen, but I was kind of hoping that perhaps the middle grade and children's will come back. I said this last year in my discussion about this. Originally, we had so many more. We had cookbooks that got axed a while ago. We obviously had poetry that got rid of. We used to have a separate middle grades and a separate children's picture books. Then those two got put together and then they got rid of in its entirety, which I guess they're trying to filter readers onto becoming purchasers, and obviously children and even middle grade age are not people that are probably Goodreads users. So I do think that's probably why they got rid of it, because those people, the readers, weren't the ones voting anyway. So now they all have like adult and young adult different categories to, but I was kind of hoping that perhaps we might get a middle grade and children's back in the mix. Obviously not. If I was going to predict for 2025 awards, I'm thinking that perhaps history and biography could even get cut, because I know there's things getting cut every year, and I feel like just based on the demographic that uses Goodreads and the demographic that would vote in the awards, I feel like it is leaning now towards the online space of the booktube, BookTok type of consumer. And we know that Goodreads is owned by Amazon, so Goodreads is going to want to filter the users into being purchasers on Amazon. So I do feel like history perhaps and biography. Wait. Oh no, those were joint categories last year. Okay. I do think perhaps, yeah, history and biography could perhaps get cut. I don't foresee memoir being cut because there is a lot of celebrity books in there, but I do think maybe at some point memoir and nonfiction could even be joined. But I think if I was going to predict something to be cut next year, I feel like perhaps history could get cut and it could become like a memoir and biography or something. I just feel like the next book category in this ladder that we have so far, that is probably the least popular. I could be wrong, just because the spaces I'm in, I might be biased because I don't read those books, but I just feel like those aren't the people who are voting. In fact, I can tell you exactly how many votes those got. Okay. So last year, history and biography, the total votes were 217,000, which not all of those people perhaps read them. They might have just voted, because some people just vote in every category regardless. Let's see how many were in humor, because that got taken out this year. 217,000 in humor, and it got rid of. History and biography. No, it's not. Okay. So history and biography had the same amount of votes as humor, and humor got axed. 217 and 17. Humor even had more votes total than the history and biography. So if something's going to get gotten rid of next, it's going to be history and biography, surely. Let's look at nonfiction. Nonfiction was not that far behind in terms of votes. Debut, 285. But then if you look at something like romance, 645. The top book almost got more votes than the entire category of humor. Do you know what I mean? So like, it's just not competing. So if they're going to get rid of something. Yeah, look, Yellowface, just the book Yellowface got more votes last year than the entire category of humor, almost. So I feel like they're probably going to get rid of like the next. If they're going to go for something next, it's going to be something that has less voters. I assume. That's just my rambly thoughts. So that you know, if this happens next year, I want you to remember that I said it. I said it right here, right now. I would love to tally up how many total I got correct with my predictions, and I would actually like to know how many I got correct last year as well. I don't know if I'll do that now for this video, but just for future, because I probably will do this prediction video next year. And I love to track. I love to track things. So I would love to track how many I get right. And maybe next year I will actually do it properly and put proper research and effort in. But I don't read all of these genres. I feel like I read a lot of genres, but I'm not so into one genre that I know it in and out. I feel like some people are like, they are a mystery thriller person and they know the mystery thriller genre. Whereas I'm so spread out with my reading. Like I would read from almost any of these categories. So it's like, I don't know, I'm not that tapped in to the current releases. So next year I'm going to do a better score than this year. But yeah, thank you for watching this silly little video. Again, I know the Goodreads Choice Awards are not that serious. There are so many other bookish awards out there, both online and ones that are like discussed and decided on by a panel of qualified people. This is like the silliest one, but that's why I'm reacting to it, because it's the silliest. Anyway, thank you for being here. I will see you in a new video soon.